So today's talk is about getting more done than none. Okay, let's spend some time here about talking about the time secrets to begin with. Most of us have or may not have a schedule. How many of you guys in the chat actually have a schedule compared to those who don't have a schedule? Quickly, if you guys can put inside the chat if you guys actually have a schedule, or how about I just ask Alden right here? You got a schedule?
Of course, definitely.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about people who don't have a schedule or think that schedule are actually a restraint?
I think it's because of lack of. I don't trust my own mind to remember everything. I also don't trust my mind to be able to keep track of everything at the same time. So I think that if for those people who don't follow schedule, if you don't, I guess SQS right here don't follow schedule, then I believe you do find that you do miss out a lot of things that you're supposed to do, right? So I guess that's one of it. Yep. So hello SQS.
Hello. So you don't follow a schedule. That's quite a shocker to me actually. One of the things that most of us may actually find that not having a schedule is something where we put our life on autopilot. So while not having a schedule, what actually happens is anybody or anything become the driver to your life in whatever that you do. Say somebody say, "Hey, I need you to do something here." Then your schedule, we supposed to be your time, which is the most precious thing, end up being something that you do for others. Then
Mm,
others would have the ability to steal time away from you. So the time stone, which I talk about, is where does the time stone uh exists? Is it in your hands or is it in someone else's hands? So that's what I mean by the pros and cons about having a schedule. Okay, now moving on, the next thing about scheduling, okay, is something also about the thought of wanting to do everything at the same time. Then you end up being doing nothing at all, hence the topic getting more done than none.
mm.
So moving forward, how many of you in the chat actually have this issue? If you look at the one on the left hand side compared to the one with the right hand side, see, everybody says everything is important, and quite frankly, it can be right. And yes, if you are a content creator, everything on the left is important. How many of you guys think that when starting a business, everything on the right is important for you to start?
I
Whether is
think
it
to I think to
yeah,
start go I will go on the right hand side first to start first. Once you are more familiar with how the platform is, then you can take on other platforms such as a few from the left, but definitely not all at once. Anybody who think that they can do all of them on the left at once, you might trust me on this because I tried it before. The process shows that if you're gonna do everything all at once at the same time, you're not gonna come up with something great.
yes, exactly. But I'm just talking about platform here, you see. I'm talking about YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Google Ads, SEO platforms that you can use to actually promote your business. But
True.
however, there are other things as well. What if you are doing, say, videos, you are doing product development, you are also doing, product design, and then you're also managing social media. So it's not just platforms but all the activities that we do in a day. Everybody says that doing all these activities is important. What actually ends up doing is we don't do anything at all because we would not be able to achieve significant result, because as you can see here on the left is only 6.6%, because everything is important and up nothing is important.
Yeah.
And also about having the schedule, what is the benefits of having the schedule is the schedule actually helps you to protect your time. Say, for example, if you have a schedule, say you only do YouTube and TikTok during the week, everything else become irrelevant until you complete whatever that you set yourself up to do. So it's one thing to set yourself up for success. It's another thing to let whatever that comes in your life, or anybody who's asking you to do, ends up taking all your time away, and then neither that you help other people to finish their work, you yourself don't even achieve anything that you set out to do. Hence, at the end of 1 year or 2 year, everybody said, what have you achieved? Most people will go cricket noise. Nothing has been achieved as much as they want to lah. Okay, so this is one example. And another example I would like to show is, say, business. Say, okay, so this is something that which is something that we do. Okay, there is so many things that we want to do, whether is it, e-commerce, whether is it even the money magnet show, or maybe our side hustles and stuff like that. So what actually ends up happening is we take too many things to do, because everything is important. As entrepreneurs, you have to do everything at once in the beginning, but you would want to immediately, as soon as possible, duplicate yourself or delegate yourself to someone else, so that you can focus on things that brings in revenue in the company. In other words, focus on the high value activities that is bringing in income. Anything other than that, design or whatsoever, outsource it. The best you can do is that. Okay, moving forward, guys, in the chat, if you guys have any questions regarding time, you guys can just let me know. Yeah, okay, so let's talk about focus. Okay, since we already established the fact that we need focus in order to make everything work, let me break it down to you guys what it means by having focus in terms of one's perspective. Say we say that we want to look at a funnel business, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So for the first month within funnel business, Q1, you only focus on one thing. Your goal in Q1 is just to get six, okay, six customer paying at a price of 2,000. Therefore, you get a sales objective of 12,000 USD, by the way. So for Q1, it's split into three. So for Q1, all you need to do is look for two customers at the price of 2,000. You get 4,000 USD. So that's all your objective. Don't try to complicate things. I know it seems a little bit like MLM. MLM, they try to say that you try to achieve so many different things. They break it down to you. It seems achievable. Then you say, this it looks so easy. But once you actually do it, then you feel like, damn hard, all these things you do, right? So it's the same perspective where you break down your goals that it seems very big into something that is very small. But do not underestimate that. Even though you say that you are only focusing on one or two things and you disregard the rest, it's easy to do. Because for some people, seasoned entrepreneur, when they look at this number, they say you should jack it up. But let me ask you this question. Are you the same level as them where you can say, okay, I can jack it up, when you are the solopreneur doing everything at once in your business, compared to somebody who only just focus on this? Obviously, they could do it because they have, designers, they have people who's doing the email marketing, they have everything done for them. All they have to do is just get sales, doing the funnel, and that's it, right? So one of the deadly traps that to avoid for being an entrepreneur that is burnt out is never ever try to compare with others. All right, other people say this is very achievable. Like some entrepreneurs, they said, are you pushing yourself enough? I think you can do more. My perspective, okay, in the hustle culture, it's more negative than positive, because all right, we always think that you have to be doing at 100%. You need to be exhausted for you to actually be successful, or you would feel guilty if you are not in that zone. What naturally happens is, okay, because we are so in tune with the hustle culture, being exhausted, doing everything at once, trying to achieve, to min max everything, what ends up happening is okay, uh we end up hating what we do. Okay,
Oh, yeah, that's
we end up
actually
hating what we
considered the
do.
burnout as well. If
Yes.
you're doing too much of a, even though you're doing good thing, if you're doing too much of a good thing, you also get burnout and you end up hating the things that you do, and that will actually destroy your motivation and your meaning. So
Yes. Something that you originally enjoy end up becoming something that you actually hate, because because you are exhausted. The more you try to push yourself, you get even more exhausted and exhausted and exhausted. So in the end up you would not even want to have the energy to even pick up to do something at all. Even though it seems so simple, but it accumulates from the beginning all the way until now. You see? Another thing about the hustle culture is because you are so in tune about hustling all the time, what ends up happening also is we become busy for the sake of being busy, not because, all right, not because whatever we do actually produce results. You see, I think most of you people in the in the office is like, because the boss say that if you finish your work fast, ends up you are not doing enough work. So what most people do is that you could finish a work in 2 hours, they take the entire day to do it just to show that they are doing as much work as they can. And some those people that they stay in the office doing absolutely nothing other than watching Facebook or YouTube just because they want to seem busy. And then at the end they say, oh, I have this, I have this, I have this. End up nobody is doing anything. So what I'm trying to say right now may be a little bit controversial, okay? Uh to maybe the older generation. For the younger generation, they would say yes, this is the way to go. Okay, because of COVID, everything with flexible work hours and stuff like that. Another thing is also is the fact that increasingly some company is employing 4 days work week, and they have been reported that, I don't have the data here, but they have reported that it actually improved the productivity and result in the company. And some entrepreneurs, they said that they start out with a good intention, say that, okay, I want to start a company culture where everybody is like working for 4 days work week, and we don't do overtime, and we want everything to be as efficient as possible. We use technologies, we use outsource out there, so to get most of the thing done right. This is what they started off, okay. But end up what actually happened is they themselves, as the entrepreneur, they work themselves to death. So what I'm trying to say is you will not be able to produce a company where the 4 hour work week works for them if you yourself do not practice it. I'm not trying to say that you have to work 4 hour work week as an entrepreneur when you first starting out, because being an entrepreneur, I think Alden and most of Malaysian, we are quite technically overwork. Okay.
and Singaporeans as well,
Singapore,
definitely.
Korea, Japan, and Korean, basically the Asian side of the country, Asian side of the world, we are usually overworked. So my point being is, if you do not create a schedule where you can work around, how do you expect that you can create a schedule where your employees can work around the 4 hours work week, the no overtime? Okay, if you don't treat yourself well enough, how do you expect that you can treat your employees well, or your culture actually works for them when you never even tried yourself? Okay.
Good evening, Raja.
Hi
Yeah,
Raja, good
so
evening.
SQS says that yeah, she experienced this as well. She worked too much and she got exhausted, and then she don't have the motivation to do what she was supposed to do like before.
Yeah, exactly. This is like, for example, if you are, it could be something that you really love, in the beginning, but end up like you end up doing too much of it, and then after that you do every other thing at the same time, then you just, you know because you are exhausted. How much more exhausted can you be before you start producing result? You see, entrepreneurs are exhausted. What they actually need is rest. It's not to do more. You see, it's not to hustle more. Sometimes it's important to rest. Sometimes it's not about rest as well, because no matter how much rest, you still do all the things at once. So it's best to focus and niche down on what you're supposed to do that generate the best result, not because someone tell you say this is important, this is important, this is important. Also emphasize the fact that having a schedule is important for yourself, is because if you don't have a schedule, you have no way of protecting your time, you have no way of identifying what is important to you, then other people can take your time away to do something that is important for them. All right. Next, just I was talking about that. Now we talk about quarterly. Okay, so quarterly, say for example, if you want to reach an annual result of 100,000, you break it down. Say for you just need to get 6 units every 3 months, so that's 2 units. That's 12,000, 25,000, 40,000, 20. In the end, you get 100,000 result. Okay, so what you have to do is you have to break down every single thing to something that is achievable. All right. Okay, so all the half and fluff and numbers and everything aside, this is what a typical work week looks like. Okay, let's say you focus Monday on doing say funnels, and on Tuesday you focus on marketplace, Shopee, Lazada, or e-commerce, and then Wednesday you focus on your YouTube channel. Thursday, which is us right now, we are doing the money magnet shows, which is on Thursday. Friday could be studying on, maybe you reading books and stuff like that, and then you schedule 4 days work week and 3 days on reading or self-improvement or any of those sort. Okay, this is what I mean, a working schedule. All right, so every day of the week, try to do your best to only do three things that is related to the core objective for the day. Say for example, on funnels, the top 3 things that you can work on funnels, number one is maybe you want to work on the messaging. The second, maybe you want to work on the copywriting. And by the way, if you guys want to use copywriting, just use conversion.io. It actually is an AI technology that can help you write faster, and of course allows you to do
It's
other
now
things that is
called
more
Jarvis
important.
AI already. Yeah, it's now called
Jarvis
Jarvis AI.
AI. Alden, you got the affiliate link. Probably you can put it there. Anybody who wants to do
Sure.
copywriting, yes. Okay, and then by the way, also funnel, maybe you want to focus on design. Okay, but these 3 things seems a lot. Okay, it seems huge because these 3 things is like totally different, unrelated. So you want to focus. Maybe you want to break it down further. Say messaging. Okay, you talk about messaging. Then you try to put about the top 3 messaging, and then you see which of this messaging works for your business, and from that messaging you do copywriting. From copywriting you split test which copywriting which is better, and then you skip the design part, throw it to next week, because it doesn't, messaging and copywriting makes sense, design doesn't. You want to put it off to next week because it will disrupt your flow of work. If you are doing something, let's say on Monday, which is funnels, focus on the top 3, and then anything that is not related to these top 3, give it some breather time, because I guarantee you, you'll get distracted. Someone distract you, or you distract yourself one way or another. For me myself, right, my best working time, right, is definitely late at night or early in the morning. Wanna know why? Because nobody is gonna message me, nobody is gonna email me, nobody is gonna bother me to do anything at all. All right, but of course, in the working world, we cannot just turn off our phone, right? Okay, so again, want to show you guys that this is a typical work week that you guys can use. But I've been talking so much about what you should do with your time, how you should do, focus on your time, niche down on what you do, protect your time with the schedule and stuff. How does this all work? Because it seems very theory, you see. It doesn't fit everything into your head. It's something that you know, but how easy is it to apply whatever that is here? Okay. Now, so what do we do then? Well, today I promise you guys that I will also introduce you guys to the best productivity tool in the world, to me lah, okay? And honestly, I really think it is the best. Is this software called ClickUp, okay? And what this ClickUp allows you to do is, number one is, it allows you to, I think you guys see this framework before about time management, or what is important, what is urgent, and what is not important. Okay, when you guys take a look at this, like you say, something that is important, is urgent, do it immediately. Something that is, important but not urgent, schedule it. you know this is a framework, but a framework is a framework is a framework. How can you execute a framework to benefit your time, your life, your schedule, and all? So I mentioned about ClickUp. Would like to share the screen on this ClickUp. Okay, so ClickUp is, you guys can see, right? Yes. Okay, ClickUp is actually a productivity tool that recently, I think about last year, it was made popular. This year it's also popular. I'm not sure whether you see the ads on Facebook. It does target me like mad. That's the reason why I use this ClickUp. Okay, in ClickUp, there has many different tools that you guys can use to help jumpstart your productivity. Number one is, if I go to click on everything, there's this calendar view, right? Calendar view is what I do to schedule everything all day, every day. Every single thing that I have that I'm supposed to do, I will not leave it to chance. I will not try to remember it. Even as little as, great instant insurance, as you can see, I gotta work on assignments. I schedule every single one of it in there. And what does this click up other than just scheduling is, what it tells me is, it really tells me a reflection of how I use my time. Number one, it also tells me what is urgent, what is not urgent, what should schedule. You see, if say for example today I'm having the Money Magnet show and I'm supposed to read a book after this, all right, and in the end I got distracted with other things to do, and maybe somebody distracted me, so okay, I need to settle some other things. I end up not reading the book. So what happens is, I can actually move the reading the book to the next day, but at the same time is, it tells me that actually reading a book, my priority at least lah, is not the highest, because during that day I did not achieve that. So this is something that if I'm able to delegate, I would delegate. But reading a book to delegate to somebody is not necessarily possible, because reading a book is a very personal thing. It's like your self growth and stuff.
Yep,
But
yep.
what I want you guys to actually understand about using this ClickUp is, it's not just a scheduler app. It's basically a reflection of who you are as a person, how you use your time, and what is important to you. You see, that framework of what is urgent and what is important could be nice to have. You see, nice to see, nice to talk about. But the Eisenhower framework doesn't necessarily apply to everyone. You see, we only know what is important or what we do after we see whether we actually take action or not. You see, so let's say some people say they want to work out, but they only work out maybe once a week. Then they complain that they don't have result. They say they work out for let's say years and they still haven't gotten any result at all. But in truth of it all is because that they haven't even put enough effort in working out or eating right to per se. So this click up is a reflection of that. Each time you did not achieve something, they'll get a reminder. You get an overdue, and then you see whether you achieve it or not. If you click complete or you delete it, inside internal your heart, you feel a bit guilty. You think, damn, I I definitely should have done more, but I didn't achieve. Or you move it on to the next day. Something to know that if you move it on to the next day, you gotta ask yourself a very important question. Do you even want to start doing this? Is it important enough that you will be committed to do this? Because if you move it, it means that it's not important enough on that day. You see? What I like about ClickUp, other than just the scheduling, okay, calendar board, I want to show you guys a little insight about how I schedule the YouTube video. Okay. So for example, on YouTube, right? If there are any YouTube content creators out there, just put inside say that yes, I'm a YouTube content creator, because this part is very key of how you schedule your YouTube schedule. Okay. Say for example, there's this board view on ClickUp as well, and board view is everything that I put in ideas on what I want to shoot for my videos. Okay, say for example on August I have something review or before you buy Traffic Secrets by Russell Brunson. So I could have an idea here, like for example, how to become an expert. I think I did a talk previously in 100x Body Magnet show about how to be an expert. So if let's say I want to start to shoot this, I schedule it on August. So in August, I already know how many I need to shoot. You see? So this is the kind of content
Oh,
that I
that's a
have.
lot, man.
Yeah,
That's a
that's a lot of
lot.
content. Question is how many of this is done. So it's a reflection. You see, I say about ClickUp is actually a reflection of who I am, because this is something that I want to achieve, but have I achieved it? So if let's say I say I'm gonna shoot maybe 10 videos a week, but I actually can only achieve one video a week. So don't try to do 10 videos a week when your capacity is only one video a week. Because if you're going to say that you're going to continue doing 10 videos a week, you are actually setting yourself up for failure. Okay. I know most people say that, you gotta set yourself up with all the things you gotta do, you gotta make commitment and stuff like that. But the opposite is also true, you see. If you go to the gym, you see everybody with nice body and stuff, it can motivate you, number one, yes. But at the same time, it can demotivate you, because you see other people achieving their bodies, but you haven't achieved your bodies. What actually happened is you feel like you're not good enough, and then you start to have a negative emotion to whatever that is, what negative emotion to going to gym. So if you have a negative emotion to go to gym, same thing as being exhausted with work by doing too many things at once, you end up don't want to do it. You see, it's not about building the habit also. It's also at the same time how you feel doing it. That's why most people fail. And that's the true reason why most people fail. Because they try to do too much. They try to do too much. They can't do it because maybe because they are, they haven't scheduled the life properly, and many other things that actually happen. They end up feeling demotivated. In the end, they don't do it at
They
all,
didn't
and
do at
then the
all.
entire cycle happens again and again and again and again and again, again. And each time you say you get motivated, okay, I'm gonna be doing 100 sit-ups every single day. But then 100 sit-ups, is it possible for you? Then you start to feel like, oh, maybe you can't. Then in the end, you say that I'm a loser, I can't do this. So you end up giving up altogether. Okay. So guys, in the chat, you guys have any question? You guys can let me know about it. Anything about this software, scheduling, or time management. Okay. Moving on, right? If there's no question, other than this board view in ClickUp, you also have the list view. So list view, I have this, which is like film the YouTube video, how many videos, 1 hour 36. Edit videos, how much that I have here that I'm supposed to edit the videos. So you can actually put it all into your everything calendar folder. So you can know when you're gonna shoot the video, when you're gonna edit the video, when you're gonna upload the video. So on Friday, I have this videos challenge, is where usually I shoot the video, upload the video, and that's my commitment. You can even put, let's say for workout, like I mentioned, I work out like 4 times a week, right? You can even put your schedule here. You can put the time. You can put reoccurring. So for me, I work out about 4 times a week. You can also put it there, and then you put it, it reoccur forever. So every single time on that day, let's say Friday, I work out, and if I don't do, I know that number one, it makes me feel guilty. Number two, at the same time, also it lets me know that uh that's how I show up. How committed am I in terms of workout? It depends whether I do it or not at the end of the day. And that's the key thing here, you see. And that's the key thing about scheduling, about this ClickUp that is way better than other scheduler, is apart from having a broad overview of what you should do, your schedule looks like, it also gives you feedback on how you are really, how you spend your time and all. Whether you're spending your time watching Netflix or whether you're spending your time actually doing the work, it will be reflected here. All right. So other than just ClickUp, right? For this scheduling, for YouTube videos and lists and stuff. Other things that I have in ClickUp is it works more or less also like a Word document. Previously, when I used many different tools like Trello for the board view, Microsoft Word for how I list up everything. What ends up happening is I have like hundreds of documents scattered everywhere in my documents. So I have no idea whether it's your desktop, which folder here, there. It gets very cluttered and it makes me, in the end, not keep track on everything that I do. While I click up, you have this list, right? Like I can actually click on these tools, resources, and blueprint where it also have everything in there, like all the best websites that I have for slides, infographics, social media content, video editing, how you call click funnels, call to action, Canva for video, Biteable. So I put everything in here where I actually have an overview of the links and what I have to and the what is it lah, and the links as well. So all of this I put it here. Okay, other than that is you have all these lists. If you were to put inside my documents, you open it, it's everywhere. And this helps you keeps everything organized. It saves your time so that you once again don't have to waste your time being distracted finding all the things. All right. Okay, so that's the end for I think the ClickUp walkthrough. The best thing about ClickUp is it's free. Maybe I should share with you guys on that. Okay, because back then when I was in college time, I tend to do all the things at once. I
Will
got
do, man. Always,
yeah,
always.
I go to clubs, join the clubs, and I mean like literally nightclub. Okay, in college, there's like assignments have to do, side hustle, and then the college, how do you call student council and stuff like that. I was involved with everything, and the thing that I gave up is sleep. Okay, so what actually happens is it took a toll on my body. What happens is it came crashing down and I'm like ill with many different kind of sickness. The biggest one I think was like stomach ulcer and stuff like that I am decommissioned from doing anything at all for like entire month because my body just told me, say, you know what, if you're not going to stop, I'm going to stop you. And then
Yeah.
no matter what people say, like you use your mind to control your body, like it's like no matter how tired you are, you gotta continue your moving into the jungle, even though like you're in the army, 3 days no sleep, you still continue and you soldier on. Yes, at the extreme cases, you can use adrenaline, and I have done that all the time. I go on 2 days, 3 days no sleep and stuff, but it's not something that is sustainable. All right, most people say, okay, I have a new pitch coming up for my business, I'm going to do all this, finish it up on 3 days. Yes, it's possible, but for how long you got to keep doing that? One day or another your body is going to shut down. Well, I'm talking about college time because I've tried doing the same thing during the working time. I can tell you it doesn't work. Because if let's say you're gonna spend the entire day not sleeping because you was working on this, the next day you still gotta show up and work. And what happened next? The next day you still gotta show up and work. Your productivity on the first day you stay up whole night and stuff, yes, you could have produced maximum result. The next 2 days afterwards you will tank. No matter what you do, you will start 2 days, you may not be able to start be as focused and productive. But yes, again, I understand being an entrepreneur that I might get, criticism, say that you gotta invest everything you can in the shortest amount of time so that after that you can rest, you can chillax a little bit. Times happen, but what I'm trying to say is work around a schedule. The importance is work around a schedule. What is important? If you know you're gonna crash the entire 3 days, schedule sleep. All right, sleep. It
Yes.
it's
Like what
also
William
important.
said, rest is still important. But trust me, the situation is that it's easier said than done when work comes piling up. Yes,
Yes,
it can be tough on that.
but nowadays I try to chill a bit using the schedule like ClickUp. You know, back then, right, actually, when I used ClickUp, I got so excited with ClickUp. I tend to schedule the entire month worth of work. Now is maximum only I schedule for about a week because I know that if I gonna schedule everything in a month, no way in the hell I can be able to do or foresee that many things that I will be able to do. But I do have reoccurring, like for example, try to do videos every week, read a book and work out, which is these three things that is I think is a long-term game plan. So I can always get on reoccurring, and every single time actually on that day itself, I know exactly what I'm supposed to focus on. And I break it down into smaller pieces so that it becomes achievable. As what I mentioned in the beginning. Like most MLM companies, they also do the same thing. They tell you something how to achieve 100,000. Seems crazy, but you break it down. Like maybe you just need to focus on 2 a month. That's it. You'll be able to reach 100,000. It's something that we also have to apply. But anybody who done MLM knows that just two, one on the left, one on the right, toughest. Okay, it's really tough. Okay, so for business, it's the same thing also. You break it down smaller bite-sized pieces and try to achieve that bite-sized pieces for yourself first before you say, "Oh, I'm gonna reach 100,000 in a month. If I don't reach 100,000 a month, that's it. I'm gonna stop business. I'm no good at this." And then in the end, you feel demotivated. You beat yourself up. Then you're gonna waste your entire time beating yourself up, thinking that you're not good enough, but you haven't even achieved the smallest goal. Don't scale. Achieve first at a small scale before you start scaling bigger. Like most importantly, don't compare. I think the analogy I mentioned said that if you being around a group of guys who's like work out all the time, try to adapt the habit, but don't at the same time be demotivated by saying, "Oh, they achieved and then you didn't achieve." Then you start to have that negative connotation in the idea of going to the gym that end up you don't do. Okay. I think one point that I want to emphasize is focus on the progress, not on the result. Because everybody is talking about result. I think ever since when we are in school, everybody is talking about the result. It doesn't matter whether you cheat, as long as you got the result, you're good. That's the reason why everybody cheat, you see, because everybody just want result. But nobody asks you, what have you learned? How could that apply in your life, things that you've learned? Because learning is progress. But being Asian, we are programmed to think that result is everything. So it's the same thing as business. It's the same thing as your body. Everybody is about your result. If you don't achieve 1 million, you are a failed entrepreneur. That's it. But in order for you to get there, you gotta start with small steps and result and stuff. Because I just what I guess what I'm trying to say is that most entrepreneurs nowadays we are so stressed out with other people's result that we don't take small credits on the little things that we do. Then we end up burned out. We end up not wanting to do anything at all because we get depressed over our results. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the biggest takeaway about productivity, to avoid being burned out. Focus on the things that you supposed to be focused, schedule it so that other people will not take your time away. Use the best productivity tool in the world, ClickUp. By the way, if you guys want to use ClickUp more as a, not just
We are honored actually to be able to help you, and hopefully we are able to help you. You can share with your friends as well the things that you have learned, then we can together help everyone else.
by the way, the link on the screen, right? This is actually for the ClickUp if you're using the unlimited plan and business plan. You use my link if you are doing the using ClickUp for your organization, or for your family, a group of business partners that you want to use with. Yes, you can use ClickUp, because ClickUp you can also has a function where you can view based on certain people. So you can do an entire Gantt chart with your team members where you say, okay, team A is doing only specifically for project management of developing the mobile apps. Then okay, team B is focusing on design. So you can segregate both your teammates on different. But If you are using it for personal use, which I like, for example, I use for personal use, ClickUp is free. All right, it's free. I cannot talk more about the unlimited business plan and the 50 off business plan because to be honest, I never really do enough research because I never really use it. I know speaking as an affiliate marketer of this product, I do not know about the business plan unlimited plan because the free tool itself is amazing. Best resources out there for productivity. Trust me, try it one time. You will never go any other platform again. See you guys.